Welcome everyone to Neverwinter on PC. My name is Rainer and today we're going through the new MOD16 gear. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you would like to see more information over this about Neverwinter, hit subscribe button. So, to start off, and just to make this clear, this is not going to be a fashion show. There's a lot of new gear and I don't have everything on my character. Actually, on this character I have hardly anything. Today we're just going to walk through all the new gear and the new weapons and talk a little bit about them. To start off, we're going to start off with the new gear, so not the weapons. There are 5 new gear sets in the collections. They are here. But we're not going to start off with those. There are a couple extra sets and they all can be found either in the Undermountain questing or the Undermountain area if you kill enemies as drops. Let me pull out the overview that I made and which I will share again, where you can see what I'm talking about. Do note that the drops and quest gear data is from before the item level raise. So all item levels have been raised, even from the old gear. Let me show you. So Bloodloss Visage is now level 630, Dragonflight 588. Okay, I'm wearing some really old crappy gear here. A Ring of Sudden Life still 596. I think all the item levels have been raised by about 40% or exactly 40%. So keep that in mind, and as I said, the values that I have here are from before that race. So that race has been pretty recent. It wasn't there at first, so when I was collecting this gear, I got these values and I wrote them down. So there are a couple of sets. Here you can see the source. The sets from questing are the deteriorating set at item level 485 before the race, and then the lost set item level 500, the gambler set 525, the fool set 550, and the forgotten set 575, and those are all from the quests. There's also some rings that you get from quests and even a companion ring, a dusty ring of the companion with some nice stats. Let's see, this is also from quests. It's also a ring and another ring, so you get a lot of good rings from the quests. There are also so the quest stuff is mostly uncommon, except for the rings. They're sometimes rare or even epic. There's also drops, as I said, in the Undermountain area, which I found. And what I found is here the soiled. Well, this is only trousers and a shirt, so I don't. This is also quest, by the way. So you also get some shirt and pants. Drops is the Traveler set and the Martyrs set and the Blackened Jaw set. Travelers is at 550, Martyrs 575, and Blackened Jaw 615. All once again before the race. So as I said, I don't have them on this character. I had them on the Owlbear server, but yeah, I will pick them up at some point and I will do another fashion show, I hope, in the near future. Next up are 5 gear sets that you can find in the collections. Those are the following. You have the armor of the Dungeon Raider, which are with the race 937, and let's also look at the statistics. The hood, well, let's not look at the numbers because the numbers don't mean a lot. Let's just look at the equip power. Undermountain Hunter plus 5% damage in the Undermountain, definitely very good. Does require level 80, so you cannot get them immediately level 70. You can purchase them in the trade bus store, but you need to be level 80 before you can equip them. The Dungeon Raiders Gators, death the fire advantage, gain 250 combat advantage for each enemy you're engaged in battle with. That's a little bit less good. The next one, Warden's Defense. If you take damage of more than 10% of your maximum hit points in a single blow, you gain 5% defense for 10 seconds. That's not that bad, because you do need some defense now. Next up, Leader's Might. Gain 250 power for each player in your team. Very lackluster. So this is not, of course, the best set. This is the set that you can buy in the trade bar store. If you have some trade bars left, this is a nice jump up. Instead of jumping up with trade bars at level 80, you actually can already jump up as well with Seals of the Brave. You can trade your Seals of the Brave for Seals of the Crown, and with those you can buy, and it doesn't say it here, but it says here that you can buy them in the Zen store, but the Seals of the Crown also allow you to buy these Spice Guild armor. So there's two different sets. This is also, no, this is a ring. No, there's one set, okay. Hood of the Spice Guild, also plus 5% damage in Undermountain. I guess these are all the same. Yeah, this is also the same, and this is also the same. So these are actually the same equip bonuses. Then we have also 4 shirts and 4 pants in this set. Shirts, are they all the same? When you critically strike with your powers, you have a 10% chance to reduce your encounter power cooldowns by 1 second. That's actually pretty okay. So every 10 crits you reduce your cooldowns by 1 second. That might actually be pretty decent for some classes. I know there's a crit cap of 50% now, but some classes can actually get over 50%. So for them, this might be pretty good. Then we have the trousers. I guess those also have the same equip power. Yeah. Whenever you critically strike with your powers, you have a 10% chance to reduce your daily power cooldowns with 1 second. Also, do they have cooldowns? I thought they only had action point gain. That's pretty interesting. I thought dailies don't have cooldowns anymore. Am I crazy now? It doesn't say anything about cooldowns. Here it does. Okay, maybe that still needs to be adapted. I don't know. Maybe it should be AP gain. Could be. This effect may only occur every 5 seconds. Okay, so you can only get 1 second reduction every 5 seconds. So it's that makes it less good. But every cooldown reduction you can get is actually pretty good. Next up, rings. They don't have an icon yet, but we have the Warden Ring of the Spice Guild. Daily powers do 3% more damage, and it's the same for all of them. They just have a little bit of different stats. Oh, one thing to note, by the way, all of the items now, and I think also the old items, everything now also has a combined rating. And combined rating is a little bit weird, so you will not understand it if you see this without explanation, but this basically means that you get 750 stats from this item for all of the statistics, all of the base statistics, all of the primary stats. You get for these 750 additional stats. So we had the Spice Guild. Next up is the Protégé set. It was actually called different before, but the Protégé set is item level 979, and you can buy these with Seals of the Deep. And Seals of the Deep you can earn by going into the new lair of the Mad Mage. These actually also have, again, the same equip powers. They just have a different amount of stats. The shirts and pants, once again, the same thing. And the rings also. So everything has the same equip power. Okay, that's not very much variation there. So the ruined apprentice armor is next. These are item level. They need some kind of restoration process, which I haven't found yet, but the restored items are level 965, and of course they have the same equip powers again, just with a little bit different stats. You can get this ruined apprentice armor in the Master Expeditions in Undermountain. So Master Expeditions is no new thing. It's a little bit like the hunts. It forms dynamically. Well, yeah, forms dynamically, and you have a chance to increase the difficulty of the expeditions to increase the prizes that you get. The last gear set is the armor of the successor set. It's actually two sets. You have one of the successor set, 4 items of item level 993, and you also have of the alabaster's successor set, and these actually go over 1014 item level on gear. That's quite a step up from what we were at. And these actually have a different equip bonus. How about these? No, this is still the same. Here the hood has Executioner's Focus. When you kill an enemy, your critical strike increases by 5% for 10 seconds. No cooldown. This is pretty okay. You can almost always keep this up, I think. Except at the boss, I guess. The next one, Sniper's Advantage. When you're 50 feet or further away from your target, your combat advantage is increased by 1500. Yeah, this is very difficult to get. Maybe if you're an archer and you're far away all the time. I don't know why this is on the best set or the highest item level set out there. This is a little bit odd. Next up, the layered leathers of the alabaster's successor, Gladiator's Guard. For every 5 seconds you are in combat, you gain 125%. If you stay in combat for longer than 2 minutes, this ability will no longer be active. So this we have seen before on the hunt gear from Jolt. You get a lot of stats, but battles should not last too long or you lose it again. So for boss battles, this will probably drop off at some point, because boss battles take a little bit longer now. Next up, the weathered braces of the alabaster's successor. At the start of combat, you will call forth creatures of the Undermountain, summoning them to help you for 15 seconds. 60-second cooldown. Yeah, typically stuff that spawns creatures is not my favorite thing. It's very unreliable, and typically they don't do a lot of damage. Yeah, so the base set, the non-alabaster set, also has the same powers. So that's the new gear in mod 16. So we go up to quite a high item level. We're almost doubling to what we had in mod 15. And we of course get a lot of statistics from this. 4,867 power per item. So that's 16,000, 17, 18. It's about 19 to 20,000 power just from those 4 items. Quite a bit. Next up, the weapons. And this is going to be painful for master crafters and people who just bought master crafting weapons. But the new weapons have a much higher item level than all the weapons from before. The old weapons with the raised levels are now at item level 700. I probably... Okay, this is a little bit lower weapon set. I have a very old set on here. But the new weapon set and Exalted are item level 700. And the new weapon sets go all the way up to 979. So that's a big step up, which means also a lot of weapon damage increased. Almost 50% extra compared to the Aboleth set, which is a lot. So as I said, there's 4 new sets. First off, we have the Mountaineer set. This set gives a weapon set bonus. When you are 25 feet or closer to your target, your defense is increased by 5%. When you are farther than 25 feet from your target, your power is increased by 5%. Quite a nice set bonus actually. You will need defense when you're close, and when you're far away you can hit like a truck. These weapon sets you can get in the trade bar store, so you can buy them. I think there are 80 trade bars each, and you do still need level 80. So if you want to level up with invocation or leveling in other zones before you go into the Undermountain area, I don't think many people will do that, but you can use these weapons to grind through the Undermountain area. Otherwise you will have to wait until you're level 80 to use them. The second weapon set is the burnished set. The burnished set can be bought with Seals of the Deep, earned in the Lair of the Mad Mage. And this weapon set states, if you're hit or healed for more than 50% of your maximum hit points in a single blow, your power and defense will be increased by 5% for 10 seconds. For DPS, if you're in a group, I don't think you're going to be hit for 15% of your max hit points in a single blow often. So it's hard to tell how well you will be able to keep this up. For a tank, however, I don't know if this also counts through the shield that tanks set up. I guess if you hit or healed for more than 50% of your max, it doesn't state that the shield is left out. So if the shield for tanks helps, this might be very good for tanks, because they're the ones getting hit and healed all the time. Next up, the alabaster set. The alabaster set can be retrieved through the master expeditions in Undermountain. This set states, at the start of combat, your power and critical strike will be increased by 1% for every enemy you're faced with while starting combat, to a max of 10% for 10 seconds. If facing only one enemy at the start of combat, your power and critical strike will be increased by 5% for 1 minute. When you kill an enemy, this buff will refresh. So we've already seen this also in the weapon sets from Chol as well. There was a weapon set like this, and it did refresh when you kill an enemy as well, which I thought back then was bugged because it didn't state that. But this is a pretty nice set actually, especially if you have if you're battling solo. In group content, I'm not sure this is that great, because it only lasts for 1 minute. For solo content, I think this is a very nice weapon set, and you get them at the master expeditions, as I said. The last weapon set is the set of the Watcher. You also get them in the master expeditions, but you have to defeat rare rune spawned monsters in the master expedition. So getting this set is a little bit more difficult than getting the alabaster set. Set of the Watcher, at the start of combat, your power, armor penetration, critical strike and defense is increased by 1%. For every 10 seconds you are in combat, this increases by 1%, max 5% increase. So this is the only set that will raise a lot of stats by 5% for a long duration. If you're fighting a boss, and that's where you need most of your power, talking about power, these weapon sets have almost 10,000 power, crazy. When you're fighting a boss, when fights last some time, this is going to be a very nice set to have. So I think this is going to be the best set for DPS. Yeah, I guess also for, let me see. So the burnished set was 5%. No, this is going to be best for all classes. This is just going to be flat out the best new weapons in mod 16. Yeah, so that's it. Those are all the new gear sets and weapon sets. The list of all the gear I will release. I will put a link in the description once again, where you can see all the new gear. The list is not complete. Maybe I will make this list so that other people can also add to it if they want, because of course each class has different gear. So yeah, it's a lot of work for me to do that by myself. If you have any remarks on this video or any suggestions on what to investigate next, feel free to leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.